Hello there. I am here to provide a guide for the Elden Ring Save File Manager created by Hapfil. This software can do many things from fixing save files to spawning items in, reviving NPCs and bosses, etc. etc. So, the three main supported things are Windows, Linux and Steam Deck. For Steam Deck users, you have to also download the Linux version. So when you're ready, download whatever version you have. Then you extract it when you're done. Go into it and launch the exe for Windows, and I believe the Linux version uses a Apple image or something similar. When you launch it for the first time, you will get this on Windows. This is perfectly normal. It essentially shows that because of how Windows detect viruses and stuff, a lot of the time stuff that isn't even a virus will be detected. If you don't believe that the code is safe, the code is publicly available, right? So if you want, you can check the code yourself and make sure nothing fishy is going on. But when you're ready, you can run it. Boom. So, first thing to mention, the games that are supported: Elden Ring, Night Rain, Armored Core, Dark Souls 3, 2, 1, and Sekiro Shadow Die Twice remastered, by the way. The next thing to mention is the save files themselves. So, when you get the game you're using, you want to click the auto find or browse, and here we've got my Seamless Co-op save, the Elden Ring Reforged save, and the vanilla Elden Ring save. I'm going to use the CO2. Right. Now you load it up and you'll see these are all my characters, their levels, etc. Now, one thing to mention, there is a backup manager. Whenever you make a change to your character or save file, from spawning a weapon, reviving a boss, or teleporting yourself, it will make a backup of your save file before you've done something. So if you load into the game after doing something and the game doesn't load up properly, you can go back, you can click on the backup, you can restore it, and so, this will essentially save you from having troubles with your save. There is also an auto backup feature which can be used if you want in the settings. Next thing to mention, if you're having issues with the game, with your save file specifically, so say, I don't know, let's say looking for Mr. Spawn Test over here, he has an issue with his save. I go to view all issues and it'll give me information. Now I have no issues, but if you did, it will mention them here. If you have an issue with, say, being stuck somewhere or whatnot, and it doesn't mention it, you can still teleport yourself to the round table hold, which should fix you up if you have like an infinite loading screen, for example, when you're like stuck somewhere. And yeah, now, of course, there is also a different thing. I give troubleshooting a look. This right here is a different software altogether, which can be useful if you're having other issues. But anyway, next is character management, right? And what can you use character management for? You can copy characters on the same save file between different slots, right? So say if I want Spawn Test here and I want to put him in slot 10, I can do that. Then I'd have two characters called Spawn Test with the same stuff, right? Very helpful. You can also use this to copy characters between different save files as well, and copy characters to save files. Very helpful, right? There, as you can see here, all the things you can do: import, export, delete, swap, transfer, copy. There's also a browse character library. and you go onto this, you can see the characters that people have uploaded. Here is my one. It will tell you the stats of them, their progression, equipment, and if they have the DLC or not. You would pick the slot you want it to go into, and then you would download it, and then you would have that character. You can also contribute a character. Say if I want to put Mr. Spawn Test on there, I would. You have to fill this in, you need a GitHub account. And you can mark if you're using any other mods, for example. And then you would submit. So yeah, very helpful. Next is character editor. This is where the big stuff comes in. So I'll load up Spawn Test, right? He's a level 166. What if I wanted more vigor? Well, I'm gonna give him 90 vigor. He is now. Yeah, now he's 90, but as you can see down here, he should be 176. So you got to change his level. But T6, and boom. Now, of course, you can change other stuff and blah. But yeah, the great runes are active. Runes, you can pick what one's active if you want. The last grace you're at, the matchmaking level of your weapons, and when you were done, you would click apply. It will make a backup before you do that. Loading back up, and boom, level 167. Now, there's other stuff. So you have your body type here. You can change your arch type, the voice. You can change your keepsake, your talismans, set your new game plus. You can do all that. Now, if we go to infantry, here you can pick your stuff, right? So if I want a great knife, boom, see that? I click that. I could add that into the game. I can click its levels. I can give it the affinities I want. I can pick if I want it in my infantry or if I want it in the storage. I can add it in, mess with the loadouts and stuff. But say if you know what an item looks like, but you don't know what it's called, well, here's where the visual picker comes in handy. Load this up, make it bigger, and now you can see all the items in the game from visually, right? So say if I wanted that, I can pick its level, I can pick its stuff, you know, all sorts of things. And then you've got ranged weapons here, you've got all the stuff from the DLC, even the seamless carp items, which is nice. You've got all the stuff. You can pick them in, you can add them in. Boom. Very helpful, right? Every time you do this, it will make a backup. So if you have an issue, you can go back to the backup before you've added it. I guess you see it. Boom. Now, the next one, appearances. Very simple. Whenever you make a preset in the game, they'll be kept here, right? You can view them from all your save or characters here, right? So say you wanna get some more saves, you wanna get some more presets, you wanna get some more stuff, but you're too lazy to do it yourself. Well, here's the thing. A cool little thing you can do. You can go onto this, and you can find something. Say Rodrika. You could add her in if you wanted to, into your appearances. Or if you want to add Mr. Mug or this creature, you can add that in. You can also contribute a character from your slots here. But say if I want to add this one in, I would have to pick slot. I'm gonna pick slot 15. I'm gonna add that in. It will mention it. Boom. Now when you go back, you'll go down here and you'll see that character's now there, right? How's about now? The next one is world state. This one is for teleportation stuff, right? You can check your location, you can teleport, yada yada. So if I use this, you can see my character is in Round Table Hold. I could find somewhere in here and teleport specifically to that place. There's also custom map ID and coordinates. There is also a very simple big map, and these are all the available spots. Say if I wanted to teleport myself over here for some reason, well, I could, and then when I did, I'd be over there. Be on YouTube. So yeah, that's very helpful. Now the Steam ID patcher, what's this used for? Right, this is used for when you're using somebody else's save file. So how it works simply is that whenever Elden Ring launches, it's linked to your Steam ID, right? The save file is. So if you use somebody else's Steam ID, when you launch the game up, Elden Ring doesn't accept the save file, and it doesn't work. So this is how you would patch it up with your auto detect, and you patch the ID to your ID, and then boom, you can play the game with somebody else's save file. Very helpful if you want to do that, right? Now we got the events one. This is also a big one. What can the events thing do? All right, so you can modify event flags. You can respawn bosses. You can check the status of bosses. You can revive NPCs, and you can check NPC quest progress. You can also modify summoning pools for vanilla if you really want to. So we gotta load my character up, right? We're gonna first do the main one. Here's the bosses, right? We can check the bosses. Which ones are there? If I want to respawn a boss, I would click him and I would respawn him. Respawn a whole category if you want. Why would you do this? Well, if you want to fight a boss again, you can, or if the boss is glitched and you want to fight them not properly, boom, you can do it, right? There is also a boss status, where you can see exactly what bosses are alive, like the Red Wolf, but you can also see that Renala's been killed. And you can also select specific areas. You can select just defeated or just alive. What do you want to use this for? You can use this if you want to, I don't know, kill all the bosses in the game. Hey, now you know exactly what one's still hiding around somewhere. The next one is NPC revival. What can you do with this? You can revive all the NPCs. If an NPC has died, you've killed them, or they've somehow mysteriously died somehow, you can check here, see if they're dead or not, revive them. Yeah. Now here's also a really cool one, quest progression. You know, NPCs, they got a lot of quests, they got a lot of steps, and you can't remember them all. Sometimes they glitch as well. Here you can check every NPC's quest line, right? For example, we've got, I don't know how to say that name, but you know, you can see the steps I've done for him and the ones I haven't done. Say like, oh, I can't talk to him for some reason, so it's bugged. I can like apply it here, and boom, now I've talked to him, right? Yeah, like, so this is helpful if your quest lines are bugged, or you just want to skip to a certain part of a quest. You can now do so. You also reset stuff here. Very useful for buggy NPCs, or just, you know, stuff not happening, or if you want to skip stuff. Very helpful. And some of these NPCs have a lot of steps, like 42 steps, and you know, you're supposed to know how to do all of them. Good luck. This is very helpful for that as well. Right. And boom. And also, there is obviously the summoning pools as well, which is used for vanilla, and it's essentially like, you know, I want to be able to be summoned in Stormcastle, even though so, you know, you could activate Stormcastle and then you're able to be summoned from there, right? This is vanilla stuff, right? But very helpful for progress. Now, the simplest page ever, the gestures page. You load up your character. You can see what I have and what I don't have. I don't have the mini thanks emote. I'm gonna grab that. Grab that emote right now. You can see it will unlock it. It'll make a backup as well in case there's issues. Boom! Now I have that emote. Now, of course you've got all these. There's also game settings thing here. if you want to modify your saves, sorry, you want to modify your settings without launching the game for some reason, you can do it here. Very helpful if you want to do that stuff, right? There's also an invasion region thing where you can set areas which are available to appear as invasions and also blue summons. So you want to activate all this stuff without having to walk around and activate it in vanilla. Boom, you can do that. Alright. There's also the events tool thing, which you probably aren't going to need, but if you do, there'll be more stuff on that in the readable document. And obviously your settings, where you can mess around with stuff. So yeah, that is pretty much everything. Thank you for watching, and if there's any more information you need, you can either read the documents, join the Discord, or just ask in the YouTube comment section. Also, one thing to mention is you want to support the creator. Just saying, you can, don't have to, but it's there. There's also a Discord server for this manager. You want to join that and get help with stuff, you can do it. But yeah, that's everything. Thank you for watching.